Welcome to Trucker Reacts, back with another video. Old Warner going to have to pay out some money after a settlement in a lawsuit that was, what, 11 years ago? 2014? So 12 years ago, I guess. We're going to go over the article here. The article is from Freight Waves. So I'll go over here and check it out and see. But man, it's a class action, I believe, what they call it. And by the time everybody gets paid, not a lot of people are going to get the money except for the lawyers. You know how that goes. So let's check it out. Freight Waves, appreciate the article by John Kingston. Warner settlement ready to go in drivers lawsuit that dates 2014. Wow. 18 million payout pool set up in the class action. About 100,000 drivers could be eligible for cash. How much cash, I wonder? 100,000 drivers, 18 million. Somebody do some math here. That's math is hard for me, so I can't do it. Too many zeros. 11 years after the lawsuit was first filed, the details of an $18 million settlement between Werner Enterprises and roughly 100,000 drivers have been disclosed. The settlement now awaits final approval by the U.S. District Court for Nebraska. While the specifics of the deal are now being disclosed for the first time, the agreement between Werner and a class of drivers was first disclosed in court filings in October, just as the lengthy case was about to go to trial. So they didn't really go to trial in 11 years. That's crazy. What's taking so long? The original California state lawsuit filed in 2014 before moving to federal court had a laundry list of violations it believed the drivers had been subject to by Werner. The charges were fairly standard for a driver's lawsuit that involves allegations of minimum wage and hours of service violations. Now, the truck industry is the only industry that is not required to pay. Oh, well, excuse me, I got that wrong. Overtime. They are not required to pay overtime. The truck industry. I believe my minimum wage too. I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about. Let's read the article. Warner has wrong Warner has wrongly failed to pay wages for all compensable work time. I know what I need. I need a sip of coffee. Ah, that's good. Whether calculated at statutory minimum wage rate or at the regular rate of pay, failed to provide duty-free meal, rest periods, or in their absence, pay added wages, made unlawful deductions from wages earned in California, failed to provide properly itemized pay statements, failed to maintain proper time pay records, and failed to pay all accrued wages on termination of employment to or for plaintiffs and other of its former and current truck drivers whom it employed to work in California after their completion of training, the lawsuit says. Well, that's a laundry list for sure. 13-year span for eligibility. Under the terms of the agreement, the settlement sets up the $18 million fund for two classes. One of those classes is for California drivers who resided in that state and picked up or delivered at least one load for Werner in the Golden State between June 4th, 2010 and July 14th, 2023. Wow, that is crazy. The second class is referred to as the Nebraska class. Of course, we know Werner is based out of Omaha. To qualify for that, a driver needs to have carried at least one load between the same dates as the California class anywhere else in the country. So if you haul one load for Werner and somebody hauled 100 loads, it's going to be the same payout. This is crazy. The settlement resolves The driver's claims that Warner's compensation system failed to pay minimum wages for non-driving work time, including time spent in sleeper berths, waiting for loads, performing pre-trip and post-trip inspections, and attending to cargo security, according to the brief filed by the plaintiffs in support of the settlement. Why didn't they just go after the whole trucking industry instead of just Werner? Most of the truck companies do the same thing. The brief acknowledges that the claims by the drivers presented novel legal questions at the intersection of federal hours of service regulations and state wage and our laws. Questions that courts across the country have only recently begun to address. Warner declined comments on the settlement. The supporter brief acknowledges that reaching a settlement was neither short nor easy. The case originally had been filed in California's Alameda County Superior Court in August 2014, but was moved to federal court that same year, first in California and then to Nebraska. It was certified as a class action in 2017. All right, here we go. Starts with $20 or $40. Wow. Under the plan, there will be a base payout of $20 for each Nebraska settlement member that is contacted and does not opt out of the agreement. Wow. The base payout rises to $40 for the California settlement members. If people opt out of the class action, shouldn't that raise the amount for the other people in the lawsuit? Members of the certified class who wish to opt out and pursue their own action may do so. Attorney's fees are 33.33%, which is standard, but the attorneys for the class will also seek reimbursement of litigation costs with a cap of 2.25 million on that figure. After that, what remains in the fund will be distributed distributed on a prorated basis based on the duration the drivers worked for Warner during the roughly 13 years accounted for in the settlement. Well, there you go. I think, yeah, the approach ensures that drivers who were employed longer and thus subject to the challenged compensation practices for more time receive proportionally greater compensation. The plaintiffs' supporter brief says. Now, there you go. That's what I agree with. The seven named plaintiffs in the case who were the sole plaintiffs before the class certification could receive separate payments of as much as $15,000 per person, pending final resolution of the settlement. There you go. That's a little better than $20. Handling the settlement payouts will be Atticus Administration, a company described as a qualified third party settlement administrator. The administrator will seek to contact members of the class over the next month. The October settlement was reached just one day before the case was to go to trial. By the time the parties reached settlement, they had completed full trial preparation. The clarity provided by those pretrial preparations informed a negotiation that produced this settlement. Plaintiffs achieved significant victories during the course of the litigation, and plaintiffs recognized Warner also achieved significant victories during the course of the litigation. So I think the settlement was somewhere in the middle, a zero on Warner's part to however much on the plaintiff's part. The settlement represents a fair resolution of claims that carried meaningful risk for both sides. Meaningful risks for both sides. Oh wow, that's crazy. Warner. Class action. I was never a big fan of class action lawsuits. Don't jump on the bandwagon, put your name in all that mess because you're going to get $20, $40. That's like the. I'm sure you've been hearing the advertisements about the Camp Lejeune, bad water. Yeah, I was on Camp Lejeune during that time. I've been contacted by numerous numerous law agencies, lawyer offices, whatever, to put your name on a class action lawsuit. No, not going to do it because I don't have, you know, I wasn't exactly really on where the bad water was at. I was on another part of the, I was on Camp the June property, but it was a different section. I don't think we were on that water supply, but still, if you're a Camp of June, you still qualify for a class action lawsuit. But I didn't jump on it. I was some of my class action lawsuits I don't care for. And but 12, 11 years, 12 years, probably getting something. Is anybody still at Warner that was the original lawsuit person? I don't know. I don't know. It's crazy. Who knows what's going on? Who knows? But that's the story on Warner and their long time lawsuit settlement. If I hear anything new about this, I'll let you know right here. So let me know down in the comment section what y'all think about this situation. Are y'all involved in this class action lawsuit? Let me know down in the comments. So appreciate everybody watching. Everybody have a good day and stay safe.